We're recording.
There we go. Excellent. How exciting for everybody. You're all so welcome. We're on day 5 of Feast for the Soul, and we're finally getting used to it. I'm glad to say us. We're a happy little family of Feast for the Soul team over here. I'm Susie von Mensenkamp and I'm based in Ireland. And I'm very excited to be introducing our feast co-director, who's based in Santa Barbara in California, the beautiful and gorgeous Sarah McLean. And just to share a little bit about Sarah, I'm going to spotlight her while I do this intro. Um, a little bit about Sarah. She's been meditating for 35 years, so she kind of knows what she's doing at this stage. She's been teaching for probably up to 30 years. I'm guessing that one, but close to, I'm sure. She's a really modern meditation teacher. I feel like she meets people where they're at, and she has just a huge toolkit of beautiful practices and experience to share with her students. She's been leading meditations, teacher training in her Meditation Teacher Academy. And she also does a lot of retreats. She travels around the world. And she's also the author of a couple of books, Soul Centered and Power of Attention. Have I got that right,
Power
Sarah?
of Attention, yeah.
And The Power of Attention. Sarah spent a lot of time working with Dr. Deepak Chopra at the Chopra Center and also with Gary Zukav and Byron Katie. So she's been working in this field for most of her life, really. So I don't want to limit her in any way by my mistakes in this introduction, because Sarah has, as you'll see, this incredible energy and generosity of spirit. She's very, very kind, very compassionate woman, and she's going to bring you into that space in her beautiful meditation today. So thank you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Susie. I just so appreciate being here with you. You know, the feast is such a labor of love and can really be like a washing machine, a karmic washing machine, as we all get together months ago to create what we have here today and what we have for 40 days of service to humanity, to create more awareness, to create more peace, to create more joy, and to have that be our touchstone while life goes on. Right? Life goes on. There are wars, there's sickness, there's death, there's illness, there's all kinds of challenges, there's jealousy, there's generosity, there's greediness, there's joy, there's so much going on. And I was thinking about this morning. I read ancient scriptures, even though Susie just called me modern. Of course, I mean, here I am in this day and age, but I do read ancient scriptures often in the morning before I meditate. And for me, well, let me tell you a story first. I've been thinking a lot about life and death these days. I guess this is what happens when you hit the second half of life, and a lot of friends of mine have been passing. And really important people to me, people that were my agent, my adopted mother, one of my other friends, one of my students. And while I was with one of the women, I knew she had about a week or two to live. I spent some time with her, and I thought, well, what's the best thing to do with people who are facing end of life, and how do I feel about it, and what can we do? I heard yesterday about a dear friend who has had a sudden diagnosis yesterday, or possible diagnosis yesterday. And I was talking to my husband about it, and I said, what would we do if we knew? And not that this is his issue at this point, but it brought up for me, what do I do if I only have a week to live? What do I do if I only have a month to live, a day to live? What would I do differently? And I'm not particularly visual, but what flashed in my awareness was that I'd like to hang out with you and glow. We glow through our conversation. We would glow because of meditation. We would glow because we know the secret to life is to stay really present and connected to each other. And so whether we do have 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a month, 5 years, 10 years, a decade, whatever it may be, what is it that we want to be in these times? What is it that we want another day to do? What is it we want another week to accomplish? So, because I read a lot of ancient scriptures, there's this one scripture that says, water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it, weapons cannot cleave it, fire cannot burn it. It's unborn, it's eternal, and it never dies. And that's you. That's what's looking through your eyes. Now, as people come and go, their bodies come and go, there's some essence of them that remains. As I was sitting with the woman who literally did have 2 weeks supposedly to live, and I think she lived 3, she was wearing these earrings, and we were out to dinner because she wanted to enjoy every last minute of her life. She was my adopted mother and really had such an overflowing heart of love that I loved to be around her because it reminded me of, well, what being loved feels like. And so I said, "Oh my gosh, Catherine, I love those earrings." And she took them off and she handed them to me. Now I'm wearing them today because of her, and her presence is still very, very present to me. Her essence is still very, very present to her family. And today I want to talk about the real reason I meditate. It is so that the undying, eternal, essential part of you and me becomes becomes such a touchstone and becomes in the forefront of our lives. I know that when we get bad news or when someone offends us in some way or we feel left out or uncared for or whatever it is, sick, tired, whatever it may be, that humanness can overshadow the exquisite luminosity of who you really are, that which is looking through your eyes. And I want to make that exquisite luminosity of who I am and who you are more present and get lost instead of getting so lost in what the sages would call Maya, this play of consciousness. So anyway, today I thought we could just spend a little time diving into this moment. This moment is really the moment of opportunity. And so is this one. And then so is this one. And all the good stuff in our lives, including your presence, your glowing heart, your compassion, is available in each and every moment. So this is a present moment awareness practice that I'll guide you into. It'll be about 20 minutes. And I'm going to use some practices from ancient yoga sutras. It's pretty old and it's got some really interesting advanced techniques in it. We'll do 1 or 2 of those at the end. And so for those of you brand new, I've been teaching meditation for many years, and there are just a few rules that I'd say, or guides, essentials. First is that it's okay if you get distracted. It's okay if you get distracted in the meditation. Your job is to simply realize it and then come back again and again. It's almost like suffering. You realize it and then you come back to that essential self. You just keep coming back. In meditation, get distracted, come back, get distracted, come back. And all the while being kind and generous and sweet to yourself. That's the second essential. Third, let go of any expectations that you may have. You may never have meditated before, or maybe you've had a bad experience meditating, or maybe you're a 30-year meditator like I am. No matter what, treat each meditation as if it's your first one. Let go, this is the fourth one, let go of trying to have a certain experience. I'm going to be guiding you into a practice, and you can either pay attention to what I'm saying or not. Almost like you're sitting on the floor listening to someone read you a story, and you tune in and then you space out. And that's okay. So I'm going to give you some guidance, and you can either pay attention to me and my guidance or do your own thing. Lastly, let's stick with the whole practice, because really meditation doesn't depend on your opinion of it. Meditation works whether you think it's working or not. And I don't know, Anita, if you want, I see there's someone's hands up. If you want to put your question in the chat, you can do that. We have some hosts that can help you. I want to thank all the people that are making this possible and thank all the teachers that have inspired me to this moment, because this is the moment, isn't it? This is the junction point of everything that's ever happened and everything that ever will happen. So let's get settled. As I said, get comfortable wherever you may be. Close your eyes if you like. I sometimes like to gaze to the floor. If you're comfortable doing that, that can work as well. You might, as you settle into comfort in the chair you're in, or the sofa or the cushion, closing your eyes, inviting stillness, you might begin to deepen your breath, breathing in slowly and fully, and exhaling slowly and fully, allowing yourself 3 long, slow, deep breaths, completely filling your lungs and emptying them with each breath if you can, as this sends a signal to your body that it's okay to relax as you do this at your own pace. And then allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm and depth. Simply sitting here in this present moment experience of breathing. And then letting your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And bringing your attention to the sounds around you. Welcoming the sounds you may hear, the soundscape of where you are. Listening to sounds that are far, that seem ever present perhaps, or those that come and go, or those that are close to you. Perhaps the sound of your computer, or even the sound of your breath. Welcome every sound you hear, even the sound of silence. Notice how some sounds arise from the silence and return to the silence, like the sound of my voice. Welcome everything, and tune into the sound of the sounds rather than the meaning of the sounds or your preferences, whether you like them or not. And now we'll tune into sensations. And just like sounds, sensations are always right here, right now. As we explore the sensations that we're feeling, let's welcome everything and resist nothing. Perhaps you notice the sensation of the feet on the floor, or the sensations of the support underneath your rear. or the sensations of the breath moving in and out of your nostrils, filling and emptying your lungs. Or the way the body responds to the breath. Letting your attention be gentle and kind and a little curious. Invite some relaxation into your face and your eyes. Softening your throat and tucking your chin just a little bit to allow the back of your neck to lengthen. Lowering your shoulders. And letting your arms hang comfortably in your lap. Hands relaxed. Softening your back. And your front. Letting go of any tension in your hips. Your pelvis. Your thighs. Your lower legs. Your feet. And allowing your awareness now to expand to include your entire body and the sensations you experience. Whether there's warmth, coolness, or lightness or heaviness. Perhaps you feel some contraction or expansion. Or some moistness or dryness. Imagine, if you will, that your attention is like a beam of love. If there's any particular areas in your body that you'd like to bring more coherence to or healing to, simply rest your gentle attention on those areas. And as you breathe in and out, perhaps even inviting the breath to direct itself to whatever area you believe needs a little more love. Tuning in now to your entire body. And begin to notice, if you can, the energy of your body moving beyond your skin. Beyond your clothing. Beyond where you think you begin and end. That there's no distinction between you and the space that surrounds you. Breathing in and out, you can redirect your attention to the breath. With curiosity and kindness, you may notice the cool air on the inhale and the warmth on the exhale. You might become aware of the pauses between each breath. You might feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest as you breathe naturally. And tuning into your interior, begin to notice the sense of aliveness. Perhaps you feel some tingling in your body, your hands, or your lips. Don't worry if you don't feel anything. But if you do feel a sense of a pulse or heartbeat, simply allow yourself to tune in to this being alive, to this life force that's simply here, that there's nothing you have to do to make it happen. Now imagine allowing everything to be exactly as it is. As the thoughts come and go and try and interrupt your peace, you might say to yourself, who would I be without this thought? Who would I be without this thought? There's nothing to change or improve. There's no need to compare yourself to anyone else. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Simply being right here, right now, welcoming this moment, this sensation, this breath. Allowing everything to be as it is. The sounds, the play of color on the inside of your eyelids, the sensations and circulation in the body. Simply existing right here as your beautiful, luminous self. Now turn your attention to the one who's experiencing the sounds, the sensations, the thoughts. Turning your attention to the one who's the experiencer, the thinker. Your pure awareness. You might invite a mantra, a simple phrase, I am. I am, before any conditions or experiences. I am. Silently saying it to yourself. Perhaps coordinating it with the breath. We'll sit here together, being, breathing for a few more minutes. I'll keep track of the time. Tuning into the breath now, noticing the energy of the breath. Does it move up on the inhale or down on the inhale? Begin to notice the movement of the energy of the breath. Don't worry if you don't feel anything. It might start to reveal itself. Imagine now that with each inhale, you're inhaling light and creating a luminosity inside you. So much so that as you sit here, you simply glow. Imagine that you are as light as a feather. It'll be just as easy to float away as it is to sit here. Imagine that you're translucent. And that who you are is a glimmer, a sparkle, a flame. Imagine all of us sitting in this circle are floating around as a glowing community of peace, of being, of knowing, and of love. Tuning into the breath once again. Drawing your breath to the center of your chest and imagining, if you will, that the breath is moving in and out of the heart, like there's a doorway. And ask your luminous self, what do I need to know? How can I remember who I really am? and letting those questions go. Begin now to tune into the body. Feeling your hands, noticing your feet on the floor or wherever they may be. Tuning into the air on your skin, or the sensation of the clothing draped over your skin. Tune into the light that's coming through your eyelids from the room around you. Perhaps you can even deepen your breath. I'm going to share with you, as you sit here with your eyes closed, a prayer, a blessing, a poem from John O'Donohue. May the light of your soul guide you. May the light of your soul bless the work you do with the secret love and warmth of your heart. May you see in what you do the beauty of your own soul. May the sacredness of your work bring healing, light, and renewal to those who work with you and those who see and receive your work. May your work never weary you. May it release within you well springs of refreshment, inspiration, and excitement. May you be present in what you do. May you never become lost in the bland absences. May the day never burden. May the dawn find you awake and alert, approaching your new day with dreams, possibilities, promises. May evening find you gracious and fulfilled. May you go into the night blessed, sheltered, and protected. May your soul calm, console, and renew you. So without losing the feeling of glowing and lightness and permanence, you can begin to open your eyes slowly or invite some movement into your arms and legs, or move your neck, stretching into the space around you. Maybe rub your hands together. And when you feel like you'd like to open your eyes, do it at your own pace. There's no rush. I like to bring my hands together in the prayer position, let my thumbs lightly touch the breastbone. And my prayer for you is, may you awaken to the light that lives through you as you, to the love that lives through you as you. Thank you for being here and being and awakening to who you really are. So thank you. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me today. You can stop the recording if you like.